It's time to take a look at your money. Each year, the summer driving season marks a time when millions of Americans hit the open roads for their family vacations. The summer driving season historically kicks into high gear with the Memorial Day weekend, which is now just days away. But how will the ongoing tariff disputes impact Americans' summer travel plans? Moreover, how do many of those holiday travel costs compare to last year? Financial advisor Mark Grywacheski is joining us live now on Zoom to break it down for us. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Ava. Great to see you again. Happy Monday.
It's great to see you too, Mark. Happy Monday. And Mark, to what extent are the ongoing trade and tariff disputes expected to impact the number of people traveling this Memorial Day weekend?
Based on the projections we're seeing, Ava, there doesn't appear to be any slowdown in the number of Americans expected to travel over this Memorial Day weekend or even across the broader summer driving season. The American Automobile Association projects a record high. 45.1 million Americans will travel domestically over that Thursday through Monday Memorial Day weekend. That's up 3.2% from last year. And also expect to see a lot of fellow travelers on that open road you mentioned. 87% of Memorial Day travelers will go by car. That equates to almost 39.4 million people on that road. Now, the second most popular form of travel will be by air. So also expect those airports to be extra crowded. About 8% or 3.6 million Americans will head to their local airports this holiday weekend. And according to the American Automobile Association, Ava, the number one domestic travel destination this Memorial Day weekend will be Orlando, Florida, home of Walt Disney World, Universal Studios. How can you go wrong?
Oh, absolutely. Plenty of
That's
sunshine there too.
yeah, and kids are getting out of school, right? So,
Yeah.
what should Americans expect in terms of travel-related costs for this upcoming Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah, a great question considering tariffs, trade disputes we're kind of seeing in the news here. But for the most part, one thing Americans can expect this Memorial Day weekend is lower costs for many of those, big ticket travel related costs. Now, whereas the cost of eating out at a restaurant is 3.8% higher than it was last year, many of those other travel related costs are actually lower this year. Remember, 87% of those Memorial Day travelers will travel by car, and a gallon of regular gas is 12.3% cheaper than last year's holiday. The cost of renting a car or truck down 2.1%. Hotels and motels, 2.3% cheaper. And finally, on average, airline fares are down about 7.9% from last year's Memorial Day weekend. So at least some good news on that front.
And Mark, I know you said that Orlando is going to be the most popular spot this year, but for those of us who are just planning on staying local or traveling within the state, what can we expect in terms of gas prices this upcoming weekend?
Ava, as much as I'd love to go to Orlando, Florida and visit Mickey Mouse, I'm going to be in that camp and staying local. But look, gas prices vary extensively, from one state to the next. Gas prices tend to be higher in those bigger cities than compared to rural areas. The national average for a gallon of regular gas is $3.12. Now, for perspective, the most expensive state is California at a wallet melting $4.92 a gallon. Cheapest state, Mississippi, at $2.66 a gallon. Also, with little surprise, Illinois, one of the more expensive states for gas. Illinois has the seventh highest average price at $3.40 a gallon. Iowa, the Hawkeye state, by comparison, has the 16th cheapest gas at $2.95. As I've said this before, I'll say it again here in the Quad Cities. The price you pay at the pump is heavily dependent on which side of the river you fill up on. On the Illinois side of the river, the average price $3.34 a gallon. On the Iowa side of the Quad Cities, 42 cents cheaper at $2.92. So if you have an 18-gallon gas tank, that saves you about $7.50 each time you fill up. And for those of you who are traveling to Chicago this upcoming weekend, dust off those credit cards. The average cost in Chicago soars to $3.75 a gallon.
Yeah, that's why, I mean, any chance I get, that's why I go over to the Iowa side.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And that's where I
you
fill my
don't even
gas
get a
tank
free
up.
soda with that expensive gas fill up in Illinois.
I know,
So.
what the heck?
I know, we're opening the whole can of worms here,
Yes,
right?
exactly. Could go on forever about it.
And by the way, Mickey Mouse is also there in December, so you don't have to worry. Yeah.
Oh, hey now.
I
Okay.
know.
I'm working on my winter holiday plans right now with that, Devin.
Yeah, and I'm
Thanks.
already smelling the grill. Also, barbecue for this weekend at Ava's house, by the way.
Oh, sure,
All right.
right.
Thanks for the invitation.
I tried. I'll get an invite, hopefully.
I won't even be there.
Thanks so much, Mark.
I have a very happy and safe Memorial Day weekend to everybody there. Thanks.
Thank you, Mark. You too.